We as men think that modern women who want men with money, who go after their careers, and or have these unrealistic expectations are the biggest problems that we face when it comes to dating and relationships. And let me be clear, all those things are viable issues. However, one man thinks that this is the biggest crisis facing the Black community.
There's a talk I give on the 5 biggest challenges Black people have for the next 100 years. The number 1 challenge is the existential crisis of the Black family. The existential crisis of the Black family. Marriage in our culture is down to 34%. When we were growing up, it was 85%. It's now down to 34%.
That can't be good, right?
You got any kids?
Yes, I have 3. And 3 baby daddies.
3 baby daddies. Oh, no. See? You the problem. You's a problem. That's what it is, bro.
3 kids, 3 baby daddies. You want my 4th one?
Hell no.
Do you have any kids?
I do. Brace yourself.
I believe you won't be able to top the women that have been on my show.
Are you sure about that?
I have 7 children.
Come again.
Are they all by the same man?
No.
How many men?
5.
That's going to be a lot.
Well, the right one will accept it all.
Hell no.
The right one will accept it all. Okay. What's some deal breakers?
Someone who is just doesn't have his stuff together.
Do you hear yourself, woman?
Yes, I had my first child at 13. I got pregnant at 13. Then I had another one at 15. Then popped another one at 16. Then 17. Then 18.
5 times. 5 times. 5 times.
19 and so on. Yes, I have 7 kids. I'm not ashamed of it. From 7 different men.
A clean 7 by 7?
And I'm currently pregnant right now with my 8th child.
I beg your pardon?
And that's by my food stamp plug. That helps me get $3,000 a month in food.
Maybe I'm tripping, but the food stamp plug is just Uncle Sam, right? What are we talking about here?
Oh, yes. I mean, I was young, but I don't care.
She was young.
I don't care. I love 7 kids, and I'm going to continue to have more.
She finna be a whole 8 by 8.
71% of our sisters are not married. 29% will never get married. 63% of our brothers are not married. 30% of them will never get married. There is no culture in the history of humankind that has risen to maximize their full human potential without family at the center of their culture.
What up, gents? Welcome to TSG Uncut. I am your host, Sean C. Dr. George C. Frasier mentioned in the opening clip that the lack of marriage in the Black community is the biggest existential threat. And he's right, of course. But I happen to think that baby mama culture and the exalting of it is the root of the problem to which he discussed. Think about it. Not having a father in a home puts a child at a learning, emotional, and a developmental disadvantage while growing up. Women not prioritizing marry before they carry and not prioritizing the type of man that could be a father is why a lot of these kids grow up fatherless. Now, I know there are a lot of single mothers that are out there doing the best that they can, but the statistics tell us that their best isn't good enough.
It's statistically a fact, single mothers, we produce the worst product, right? Part of that, when we talk about males, especially Black males, we don't realize that we're programmed, because if you don't understand history, you won't realize that, like, it starts with the female. Even when we were slaves, the idea is if you program the mind of the female slave, she will raise the offspring to continue your agenda without you having to be physically involved. She will teach her children to abide, because we're the first givers of life and care when kids are small. So we train them up to be good slaves, follow these particular rules. We indoctrinate and, create certain philosophies in their mind. So by the time they're big and strong, they still following behind the same agenda that was placed into us. So when you look at males that come from single mother-headed households, if you don't get around positive male role models, you have the emotional management skills of a woman.
You 30 years old. You 30 years old. I'm steady having to go through this with you. All I did was ask you to take the trash out.
I'm not taking no trash
out. You live here rent free. What you mean I don't need no damn man? Take out no garbage with my son living here rent free?
No, cause I'm your son. I ain't asked to be in this. I ain't asked to be in this world.
Nigga, you 30 years old. What you mean you ain't asked to be in this world?
So
it's time for you to get up and do what you gotta do. It's been 30 years.
But if you really want to understand how some men relate to women in terms of their attitudes and behaviors, you have to go back to their earliest childhood experiences with their mothers.
Because it's the truth. She knows it.
And when we look at the data, particularly in Black communities on child abuse, the data tells us that the majority of the abuse and the fatalities are perpetuated by women.
How are people just this evil in the world? Mom made her 3-year-old son say goodbye.
This woman unalived her son and unalived herself because she didn't want to lose her son in the custody battle. The system once again failed another child. The man was fighting to get his child. She knew she was going to lose.
We have studies that document that Black boys may be the best students in the country up until 4th grade. So the question is, what happens to Black boys in the intermediate and upper grades to begin to create the kind of image that you're talking about when they become 18 years and older? I sincerely believe that only men can make boys men. Now, don't misquote me. I did not say that a single female parent could not rear or educate her child, but she need not do that by herself. Where are Black boys going to see Black men? If you look at the home, 38% of all Black children live in a single-run household. And then, unfortunately, many young people, men don't go to church. So the last place is the streets, and that's the problem. The streets do a very poor job making Black men.
You got to understand the cycle and when it been started. You say when it's been started. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Listen.
I think a lot of people are capable of working and are willing to work, but it's just the way it's set up. The mother and the children are better off if the husband isn't working or if the husband isn't there. And this breaks up so many poor families.
This phenomenon of the existential crisis of our family only exists among African American Black people. It does not exist on the continent or anywhere else in the diaspora, so there must be something in the water. We must fix this. It is a lot easier said than done because it is impacting our wealth.
See, when fathers are present in the home, then it's the father, the uncle, the brothers. It's their job to vet the men that are looking to marry their daughter, their sister, their niece. It's their job to make sure that that man is going to be an upstanding man, a good provider. But without men helping to check other men, we know that women are terrible at selecting men. And this ends up being felt by the children that they have. But women are even worse at giving other women advice.
Listen, I don't know who needs to hear this, but just because you have multiple baby daddies does not mean that you are less valuable.
But that's a lie.
It does not mean that nobody will date you, okay? It just means that you need to refine your dating standards, because there are men out there like this who will say to you that you are less valuable because you have multiple children with multiple men. But at the end of the day, men who do that, I really qualify them as my sisters.
Shut the fuck up!
I posted that I am a 44-year-old mother of 10. What does it matter how many baby's fathers I have?
I don't think it matters what I believe.
I'm glad I didn't stick with one, because if I had one fucked up baby daddy, then that means all my kids would have been fucked up. And it's the reason why I have different. Because when they start fucking up, they gotta go.
And there it is.
In 2022, I had found out my baby daddy had cheated on me with the neighbor upstairs.
I hear he's good at charming other men's wives.
I took him back, and after I took him back, he still kept on cheating on me with the same girl.
You need to leave him be.
Long story short, I got sick of it. I actually heard him physically up there in her apartment, so I went up there. And I actually shot the girl apartment up with her daughter, him, and the girl inside of it. I ended up going to jail, and the whole entire time I was in jail, he was pretending like he wasn't fucking with her. The whole entire time he was still fucking with her. I found out once I got back out, and I still took him back.
Why did you do that? Why?
And after I took him back, he got locked up, and I'm currently holding him down.
I'm not surprised.
My God, this right here proves that it's over. So this man right here says his baby mama and his son were put out of the house by the baby mama's current boyfriend. So he decided to go steal the boyfriend's car, and he said his baby mama's now put up somewhere in the house while he's driving around in this stolen car with their son right there in the back.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Wait, there's more.
While he's daring that man to come and get the car, and he better not call 12, aka the police. Look at what these women are saying. I'd be back with my baby daddy tonight. Am I toxic? Cause I would marry my baby daddy after this. And that's the night we conceived your brother. This is my type of crash out. I may need a therapist. My immediate thought was, now this is love. If my baby daddy not coming like this, I don't want him. This is so romantic to me. Wish my baby daddy was halfway like this. Am I too old to get me a young baby daddy so solid? She definitely gonna keep them books stacked. God, I done picked the wrong baby daddy. So we all toxic.
What's wrong with you all?
What's disgusting is all the women that are in the comments cheering on this type of baby daddy. This is a problem. This cannot be blamed on us men for women thinking that that dude is the type of dude that they want. I want you all to remember that it is women who are quick to tell everyone how independent they are. Why is it that they can't take accountability of their choices without blaming some other man?
I have been a single mom for all of 2 years, and I have to say, I hate it here. I don't hate being a mom. I don't hate having kids, but I hate the fact that I only had 2 options. Either stay in an unhealthy, dysfunctional relationship or do it all on my own. The kicker is that this is culturally normal.
Here I come. Oh, here I come.
You and that man break up. That man and that kid break up. Because if he goes and finds another family, his loyalty is to them. To the family he has. Not the broken family he helped create. To the family he's trying to maintain. So I get it if you have kids over there and kids over here. Why are you treating these kids over here better than the kids over there? So are you overall a bad dad?
Yes.
Nah, you're a bad dad.
No,
it's about perspective. It's about perspective.
First of all, and I get it. We all have our challenges. We're all going through our own struggles. But why is it culturally normal for this to be the only other option?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
We break down the numbers. When he said there's a poor selection of black men, I want to know where that comes from. 22 black million men in America. So you got 660,000 black men incarcerated. You got 500,000 black men who are LGBTQ. It's 460,000, but I added 40,000 for the down low brothers. You got 1.3 million with no job. Then you got 2.86 million addicted to drugs. So that's around 5.4 million black men out of 22 million. That would be 24%. But even if you stack it on top of each other, out of 22 million, you get to 5.4 million, 24%. How is that a poor selection? 76%, the vast majority of black men out here got a job, they're attracted to women, they ain't on drugs. Well, what do you mean by poor selection? There's more Antoine Fishers out here than Tyrone's.
I'm a good man.
Yeah, I gave baby up for adoption.
Why'd you give my baby up for adoption, Alicia?
Because you weren't here, you were in jail. I don't want to be a single mother by myself.
You ain't shit.
Alicia, I was gone 10 months, and my baby was just born a month ago.
Well, I want to live my life, like I just told you. I didn't know how long you was going to be in jail. I wanted to be outside, be in the streets.
I know you fucking lying.
Travel, get a bag. And I can't do that with no child, and you in prison.
Alicia, I am his sole father. I didn't get no decision to make that.
No, you didn't. You don't. When you threw your life away to be in jail, you don't get no type of agreement, communication, nothing. So I gave the baby away.
Why would you do that, you crazy fucking bitch?
Would you sacrifice your family for your happiness, or would you sacrifice your happiness for your family?
If I'm not happy, no.
What about you?
I would definitely go for my happiness, because what is life about if we're not trying to be happy?
And what about you?
I've actually been there and done that, and I did choose my happiness, and I'm happy I did.
With all of your answers, this is the reason why women initiate 70 to 80% of the divorces, because you prioritize your happiness over your family. Marriage is about purpose and duty. Happiness is fleeting. It's up and down, meaning that you're happy at one moment and then you're not happy another moment. Men really love a girl. You just love that man based off how you feel. I think the only thing you do love is your feelings. Men, we don't prioritize the way we feel. We prioritize what's real, and that's family, that's the woman, that's the children. So we'll sacrifice our happiness for a relationship without a problem.
Woman calls out successful men for not wanting to date single moms. Single successful men that don't want to date women with kids is so sassy to me.
Yes, that's your answer. That's your answer to everything.
Baby, how you a grown man but scared of some kids?
They're not my kids!
How you allow some kids to let you to miss out on this good woman? It's giving you weak.
Look, black women, you have a 26% chance of getting married in your entire lifetime. It doesn't matter if you marry out of your race. It doesn't matter if you marry same sex. You have a very small chance of getting married. Number two, up to 40%, I said 40%, of the kids that's tested is not the man's kid. That is a fact. We're not saying 40% of children. We're saying 40% of kids that's tested is not the man's child. Third, women, stop acting like your stuff don't stink. You are no better in these marriages. You keep saying what men do, what men gotta do, what men gotta do, but what are you doing for these men? As a matter of fact, the men that you complain about, you raised them.
It's our fault. We play into the powers that be that keep fathers out of the household. And there's so much emphasis on the importance of black fathers and fathers in the lens of their children's lives, specifically their sons. There's so much blame and emphasis on how black men's absence in the home, fathers in general's absence in the home affects our young men, but there's not enough conversation about how it affects us women. I will argue that it possibly is more detrimental to us than it is to you all. Women are just out here running reckless. I have been one of them. I'm 100% accountable. And I wish that more women would be accountable and honest about how the lack of fatherhoods in our lives have messed us up.
So, who has the highest household median wealth in America? It's East Indians, $104,000 a year. What's the marriage rate in the East Indian culture? 94%. Two are working. Who's number two? Chinese Asians. Household median income $110,000 a year. Marriage rate close to 70%. Number three are white people. Household median income $88,000 a year. What's the marriage rate? Almost 50%. Down significantly. Number four are Hispanics. Household median income $61,000 a year. Marriage rate close to 70%. We are at the bottom. Household median income $55,000 a year. Marriage rate 34%. And projected based on facts and statistics that if we do not fix this, because white folks ain't fixing this, our marriage rate will be in the low teens in the next 20 years. First of all, understand that this is a problem. No one's talking about this problem. This is a huge problem. It's the number one problem in our culture.
This was a deep subject. What are your thoughts on today's video? I want to hear from you down in the comments below. And you're going to want to check this video out right here. It's going to go into more depth about black men's issues with respect to our women. It's going to keep the conversation going, and I promise you, it's going to be good.